Pull up a chair and join the conversation anytime between 2 and 6. It's Montreal Now on CJAD 800.
This is my husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld, this is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
And has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah, isn't she? You should try.
Yeah, we.
I won't call the fun police if you don't.
Okay.
Okay, that's a clip from a new movie called Speak No Evil in theaters now. Richard Crouse, film critic, host of Last Call with Richard Crouse. Tell you what else is in theaters, but let's start with that. Richard, what's this about?
This is a remake of a Danish film from a couple of years ago, which was nihilistic and bleak and truly upsetting. The new version, starring James McAvoy, in theaters now, is less so. Just so you know, if you've heard about the Danish version or if you've seen it, it was a sizable hit, know that this is a little different. It's about two couples, both living in England, one American couple, one British couple, who meet in Italy. They're on vacation, and they're kind of surrounded by stiffs. Everyone else on the tour is not that much fun, so they end up hanging out. They have a nice time for a couple of days. They head back to England. One day a letter arrives at the American's house, and it says, hey, come on up to the summer house that we have in the country. You'll love it up here. We'll spend some quality time over the weekend, and the good times will continue to roll. Even though they're basically strangers, the Americans decide to do it. They show up, and almost immediately the microaggressions begin. Their hosts are just a little bit odd. Something just seems off. They can't quite put their finger on what it was. And in my case, I would think, well, you took an invitation from strangers to go spend time with them. That's what's wrong. But this turns out to be a comedy of manners in a way, pushing the limits of where civility ends and survival begins. And it turns out that at the end there will be a showdown between these two couples. And this movie is smart. It's quite funny by times, but it's all about James McAvoy. We know him from the X-Men movies, and we've seen him in lots of other things, and he's always a very charming actor. Thing about him, though, he's got that kind of smile that can be charming one second and malevolent the next, and that's what sells this character. That's what makes this movie such a crowd pleaser. The audience I saw it with was applauding while the stuff was going down at the end here. Sometimes for the good guys, sometimes for the bad guys. It's one of those kind of movies.
Okay. Speak No Evil, that's the name of the movie. Mm-hmm. Next up is The Critic. What's this?
Yeah, this is Ian McKellen. And this is a master class in acting. Not so much storytelling, but in acting. Ian McKellen plays a theater critic for a big newspaper in 1934, and his style has kind of going out of style. So his boss, played by Mark Strong, suggests some changes that he could make. He reviews a West End show with an actress played by Gemma Arterton, and he just absolutely tears it apart. And that starts to lead to a story of revenge, a story of blackmail, all sorts of nefarious behavior. And I liked bits of this movie so much. The performances from the three leads are great. There's a scene where Ian McKellen meets Gemma Arterton on the street, and she says, you can't keep writing these terrible things about me. You can't you dismiss me in the way that you have been. And he is unapologetic, and it's brilliant. It's a brilliant scene between these two actors. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie is kind of melodramatic, and because everyone is just so nefarious, you don't really root for anybody. And so, for my money, this one kind of falls apart because while I thought the acting was great, the story didn't hold up.
Oh, okay. And that was called The Critic. Next up, His Three Daughters as opposed to My Three Sons.
That's right.
Okay.
His Three Daughters is in theaters right now, but it will be on Netflix next Friday. And it's the story of three daughters, estranged sisters, played by Carrie Coon, Elizabeth Olsen, and Natasha Lyonne, who are called back to their father's New York City apartment because he's about to pass away, and they want to be there for his last moments. Trouble is, they don't really get along. It's a small place. They're kind of on top of one another. So a good chunk of the movie is them just trying to work out their relationships, and there is some progress and some breakdowns and things that you might expect from a family drama, except in this case you've got three superlative actors doing it. So even though it has a whisper of familiarity to it, that's okay. You're seeing great actors. Then in the last 20 minutes, it becomes a tour de force. And I will not tell you what happens, but bring some Kleenex, wrap a towel around your neck contain the tears, to soak up the tears. It's a really, really powerful ending to this film. It's called His Three Daughters, on or in theaters now on Netflix next Friday.
Richard, you're not in any kind of trouble, are you? I hear the sirens behind you. So
there's I don't know what's going on.
Right.
If you hear the door being kicked in, you'll know.
Listen, before we get to streaming stuff, what's happening at TIFF? This has been a busy week. I know there's stuff out every day. Anything interesting?
Oh, man, I've seen some of the best movies of the year at the Toronto International Film Festival this year. After a number of years where they had to deal with the pandemic, and then the year where people weren't sure whether they wanted to go out to theaters or not, and then last year with the actors' strike and the writers' strike. It's been a rough, few years for them. This year, back stronger than ever. Anora is a film that we're going to be hearing a great deal about at Oscar time. I saw the Robbie Williams biography. Robbie Williams used to be in a boy band called Take That. He's a superstar around the world. And they've made a fairly standard kind of, young person to superstar biography about him. Here's the difference, though. In the movie, he's played by a chimp.
I beg your pardon?
He's played by a monkey.
That's what I thought
you said. Played by a chimp, and they make no reference to him being different or a chimp or whatever throughout the movie. He had just accepted that is who he is. And so I've been racking my brain. I interviewed Robbie Williams the other day, and I didn't ask him about it because I heard him in other interviews just say, what do you think it means? I have some theories, which I'll tell you about when the movie opens, but it's brilliant. It's funny. It is just a great musical and a great story. So that and Hugh Grant in Heretic playing against type as a kind of creepy guy that lures in some missionaries into his house and then makes them do some kind of unorthodox tests to prove their true believer status, that kind of thing. There are just so many great movies here.
Listen, before I let you go, really quick, though, I don't know if you'll remember last week, I talked about what you're watching and streaming. I brought up a movie called The Perfect Couple, and you said, yeah, I watched it up to this one particular point, then this scene happened, and I was done. I've watched it. I want to know what that scene was. Was it the book launch?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the book launch. And at that point now, I will tell you that the next episode, the final episode, is a little better. But the book launch put me off.
I watched the whole thing, and I was actually kind of disappointed. But not with the acting, with the writing. I didn't think it was kind of stiff. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I would say about it.
Richard, you have a great weekend. I thank you so much. Appreciate it.